Amos chapter 3 verse 6 declares, shall evil come in a city and the Lord God have not done it? When 2 Chronicles 7:14 declares that if my people which are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, I'll forgive your sin and I'll heal the land. However, this thing was able to creep upon the church. You that was around there, you that looked on my website, at the beginning of the year, I gave some prophetic words that God gave me for 2015. And one of the things that God told me was that the homosexual agenda was going to flourish. And that's why here in Columbus, Ohio, you got to stand behind this church and this ministry. You got to stand behind World Harvest Church because you have a pastor that was willing to stand in the face of the president and tell him marriage is between, y'all ain't talking back to me in here, it's between a man and a woman. God is getting ready to raise up preachers who are not compromised but would declare the whole counsel of God. So the Holy Ghost began to speak to me, and he said, son, the reason these things are able to take place, I said, this should not be, this should not happen. 25% of the world is evangelical. You understand that? Here's the problem. 13% of the 25% of the evangelical audience now believe that it's okay for two men to marry, when the Bible declares that if a man lay with another man, it's an abomination. We cannot get around it, but everybody is preaching everything else. How are we preaching this old feel-good stuff when the devil has taken over our country? He's taken over your children, and you coming to church shouting and dancing, and the devil is after your child. God spoke to me. He said, son, I want you to preach harder. I want you to preach harder against homosexuality than you've ever preached before. I said, why? He said, every time you preach against it, I send an angel to protect your family from it. I come to tell you, declare what God said, declare. So I asked God, would y'all sit down? I asked God, I said, Lord, why is this happening? And the Lord said to me that the reason this thing was able to occur is because there has been a breach of security. I say, what do you mean? He said, the enemy has snuck in. He crept in unaware. I said, well, how did this happen? He said, the first place where there was a breach of security in your Bible is when Lucifer, yes sir, when Lucifer, there was a breach. What do you mean? The Bible declares that Lucifer was an anointed cherub. Yeah, he was perfect in all of his ways. Lucifer was not any kind of man, but Lucifer, he didn't need a praise and worship team because he was worshiper. His very body embodied every instrument. The only instrument that he was not able to get was the brass section. He didn't get brass because brass is symbolic of royalty, and God doesn't share his glory with nobody. Yet Lucifer, he didn't need a praise and worship team. He was the praise and worship team. The Bible says he was perfect in all of his ways until iniquity was found in him. There was a breach there. I was sitting down talking to Phil Driscoll. We was having a conversation, and he was talking about this situation that occurred, and he said, listen, he said, the way that God was able to detect that iniquity was in Lucifer. I said, how, Lord? He said, I heard it. I said, what? He said, I heard it. He said, and by the time I caught it, a third of the angels had already been affected. You missed what I just said. You got to catch this, because the first place where the breach has taken place is in our praise and worship. I got to talk to you. See, the reason we got the homosexuality in the world is because we got homosexuals singing in the choir, and don't nobody want to say nothing. And when the worship ain't right, the people can't be right. Look at, we got these people singing in the choir who hands ain't clean and their hearts ain't right. And the Bible says, who shall abide in the holy tabernacle? He that have clean hands and a pure heart. But now we got people who are singing. They're not singing for the glory. They're not singing for a manifestation of power. They're singing because they want money. Everybody come to church for a gig, and when they get done singing, they leave and they go back to their hotel rooms. Why I'm looking for the praise and worship leaders that didn't only just worship when they had the mic, but worship when you don't have the mic. Am I getting on y'all nerve yet? There's a breach. Slap somebody, say there's a breach. There's a breach. Come on, tell somebody there's a breach. Look at our praise and worship today. You can't tell the difference between godly songs and worldly songs. And the enemy's creeping in on the church because musicians are slowly sneaking secular chords into gospel music. And now you got young folk in church dancing and juking and jiving like they in the world, when the Bible declares there must be a difference between the clean and the unclean. I know you don't want to hear this. I know you want me to shout you, but the devil is a liar. He's after America. He's after this city. He's after this state. And God is about to send judgment on the nation of America. But in the midst of the judgment, there's a people that God is getting ready to raise up, full of the Holy Ghost and power, go to pray. That's going to cast out demons, lay hands on the sick. If you want it, jump on your feet and shout glory. Tell your neighbor, there's been a security breach. Come on, tell somebody, y'all sit down, please. There's a security breach, and it happened first in our praise and worship. That's what happened, y'all. Our praise and worship changed. Most things that we call praise and worship, it ain't worship because you sing about him, but you're not singing to him. Worship is not singing about him. Worship is singing to him. I listen to some of these gospel songs. They make me depressed when I listen to them. I need gospel music and worship song that's going to love on him, that's going to adore him. But nobody wants to worship anymore because everybody want to dance and shout. Your flesh want to be on exhibition. Y'all ain't saying nothing in here. But the hour cometh, and now is, where the true worshipers of God are going to worship him in spirit and in truth. That's what we need. We need some worshipers that don't care about a title, don't care about a platform. If they got to lay on their face, they'll lay on their face. If they got to go crazy, all they want to do is worship.